Ever get a text that says family dinner this weekend and immediately your brain goes into panic mode? Like your body physically rejects the idea of sitting at that table for 3 hours. If that's you, don't worry. There's actual psychology behind why some of us treat family gatherings like a dentist appointment we can't skip. Here's the thing. Not everyone feels warm and fuzzy about family time. Some people genuinely love it. Others feel like they're walking into an interrogation room. And if you're in that second group, your brain isn't broken. It's just responding to some very specific psychological triggers that only happen in family settings. Let's break down exactly what's going on in your head. First thing, role freezing. This is when your family refuses to see you as the person you are now. Think about it. At work, people see you as capable, maybe even impressive. Your friends know your actual opinions and interests. But walk into a family gathering and suddenly you're 12 years old again. Doesn't matter if you've built a career, raised kids, or traveled the world. To them, you're still the kid who spilled juice on the carpet in 1998. Your mum still corrects how you hold a knife. Your siblings still bring up that one embarrassing thing you did in middle school. It's like everyone's operating off a script from 20 years ago and nobody bothered to update it. Psychologists call this identity invalidation. You're sitting there trying to exist as your current self, but everyone around you keeps dragging you back to some outdated version. It creates this weird mental tension. You know who you are. They refuse to acknowledge it. And that tension, that's cognitive dissonance. Your brain is basically arguing with itself about which version of you is real. It's exhausting. Second issue. Boundaries don't exist at family gatherings. In normal life, you've got systems. You don't tell strangers your salary. You don't let co-workers ask about your dating life. You control your personal information. But at family events, all that goes out the window. Suddenly, it's completely normal for your aunt to ask why you're still single. Your uncle wants to know what you're making now. Someone's definitely going to comment on your weight or your hair or your life choices. And here's the wild part. They think they're being caring. In their mind, this is love. This is interest. But to your brain, it's a violation. When someone crosses a boundary you've carefully built, your nervous system treats it like a threat. Your stress hormones spike. Your fight or flight response kicks in. You want to either defend yourself or get the hell out. The problem is these violations come wrapped in concern and family obligation. So you can't exactly tell grandma to back off without looking like the villain. This is what's called enmeshment. The lines between where you end and where they begin get so blurred that having any personal space becomes impossible. And when you lose that sense of control over your own life, your brain interprets it as danger. Third thing, the comparison trap. Humans compare themselves to others. It's just how we're wired. But family gatherings turn this into a full contact sport. Everyone's life is on display at the same time. Your career gets measured against your brother's. Your relationship status gets compared to your cousin who just got engaged. Every choice you've made is suddenly up for evaluation. And research shows something interesting. When you feel like you're not measuring up, your brain lights up in the same areas that process physical pain. So when your relatives start the whole "so what are you up to these days" routine, and you realize your answer doesn't sound as impressive as everyone else's, your brain is literally experiencing that as pain. Not metaphorical pain. Actual pain. The cruel irony is everyone else is probably feeling the exact same way. That cousin bragging about their promotion might be drowning in stress. That sibling with the perfect family might be hiding serious problems. But you don't see any of that. You just see the highlight reel, and that makes your own life feel even worse by comparison. Fourth mechanism: social masking. This is the exhaustion you feel even though you've barely moved. You've been sitting on a couch for 2 hours, but you feel like you just ran a marathon. That's because you've been performing the entire time. You're laughing at jokes you don't find funny. You're staying silent on topics you actually care about because bringing them up would start a fight. You're pretending to be interested in conversations that bore you to tears. You're managing everyone else's emotions while completely suppressing your own. It's emotional labor, the invisible work of keeping everything smooth and conflict-free. And if you're someone who already does this in daily life, maybe because you're introverted or neurodivergent or just highly aware of social dynamics, family gatherings are like doing all of that on expert mode. Because these people knew you before you got good at masking. They remember the version of you that didn't have it all figured out. And part of you is terrified they'll see through the performance. On top of that, if you're sensitive to sensory input, family gatherings are overload central. Loud voices, people talking over each other, kids screaming, too many people in one space. All of that drains your cognitive resources faster than anything else. By the time you leave, you haven't done anything physically demanding, but mentally you're completely wiped out. That's cognitive dissonance at work, the mental strain of acting in ways that contradict what you're actually feeling inside. So here's what's really happening. You're dealing with all four of these mechanisms at once. You're being forced back into an old identity while people violate your boundaries, while comparing yourself to everyone else, while performing a version of yourself that isn't real. Each one makes the others worse, and your brain is trying to handle all of it simultaneously. Understanding this doesn't make family gatherings magically easier, but it does give you clarity. The stress you feel isn't a character flaw. It's not you being difficult or antisocial. It's your brain responding exactly how it's supposed to when faced with these specific psychological dynamics. Some people genuinely enjoy these events, and that's fine. But if you're someone who dreads them, now you know why. It's not you. It's the situation. The stress is real. The mechanisms are documented. And you're definitely not the only one feeling this way. If any of this hit home, let me know in the comments which mechanism hits hardest for you. Is it the role freezing, the boundary violations? Drop a comment. I'm curious which one resonates most. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it their way. Sometimes just knowing you're not alone in this makes it a little more bearable. If you want to understand more about why people behave the way they do, hit subscribe. We break down psychology that actually matters.